Welcome to the I Can Do Anything podcast. My name is Colin, and today I'm going to be talking about Game 1 of the Eastern and Western Conference Finals in the NBA playoffs. But first, let me tell you about Landscaped. Are there any homeowners out there? If you own a home, in most cases you know that you're going to have some yard work. Landscaped is here to help. Landscaped takes pride in having the most extensive catalog of outdoor tools, appliances, furniture, lighting, materials, decor, power supplies, pool and spa, gardening, recreation, water and irrigation, accessories. I mean, that's a lot of shit. Visit our stores across the United States to receive help from our trained landscape architects, take classes and listen to seminars on a wide variety of topics and focus areas, including Gardening 101, homeowners construction best practices, insect and pest control and behavior, creative materials concepts, pool and spa maintenance, fencing and perimeter design, owning your space, and there's a lot more. Or visit us online at landscaped.com/anything to receive $10 off your first order of $50 or more and $50 off any order of $300 or more. That's landscaped.com/anything, a special savings for listeners of the I Can Do Anything podcast. Landscaped. All right, so Game 1 of the Western and Eastern Conference Finals have both been wrapped up, and let's talk first about the first game, which was Warriors and Blazers from, what would that be, Tuesday night? Today is Thursday. Tuesday night. The Warriors won a good game, a close game for the majority of the game. The Blazers didn't really play very well. Actually, the Blazers played pretty poorly. This game was close for I don't know, the first three quarters. I want to say that I don't know. Was it close? I guess the Warriors were up by 15 to 8 points, kind of in that area for a majority of the game, but it felt close. It felt close, even though the Blazers were really playing horribly. Damian Lillard finished with 19 on 4 of 12 shooting, shot 33% from the field, 2 of 5 from 3 with 6 assists, 7 turnovers is terrible. Harkless played well. Harkless had 17. I would say that's probably well above Harkless's average for the season. They're only going to tell me his playoff averages, aren't they? Yeah, postseason. That's not going to give me what I want. But the bottom line is the Trailblazers played well, and they were in the game. And I think it's promising for them looking forward. Like, Damian Lillard's not going to shoot 33% from the field in the rest of these games. CJ McCollum finished with 17. He shot 36% from the field, was 1 of 5 from 3. Damian Lillard's not going to turn the ball over 7 times, probably in any of the remaining games in this series. Rodney Hood played well off the bench. But I think it's promising looking forward for the Blazers because I don't know. It felt like they were in striking distance for a lot of this game, and if they can just get even like an average night for Lillard and McCollum, if they get the production that they got from Harkless and Hood off the bench, Zach Collins came in and played some good minutes. Evan Turner, 16 minutes, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers. I guess that's all right. Seth Curry came in and took 4 threes. Only made 1 of them and finished with 3. And then on the Golden State Warriors side of the ball, Iguodala had 4. Draymond had 12, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's a pretty good night for Draymond, or a pretty average night, I guess, for Draymond. And then Clay and Steph were really, really good. I mean, they were great right out of the gate. They both shot the ball really well to start, and then Curry kind of buried the Blazers towards the end of the third quarter and then into the fourth quarter, and that extended the lead, and I think they played garbage time for maybe the last 6 to 9 minutes, something like that. That's when I turned it off, because, yeah, I'm not watching that shit, but Steph and Clay were impressive. I mean, I think a lot of people predicted this once Durant went down, is that we're going to see the old Warriors again. We're going to see the Warriors that set a record in playoff wins in a regular season. I want to say that was like 4 or 5 years ago now, which is wild. Is it 4 or 5 years ago? No, I guess it was 3 years ago. Durant came. It was 3 to 4 years ago, regardless. What's his name? Lillard was, just not good. He started the game 2 of 2, but then didn't score for the next 32 minutes, where he hit a layup at the end of the third quarter. And I don't know what he did. He probably didn't do much in the fourth quarter either. Well, hold on a second. Let's see how this math works out here. Maybe he had to have done some shit in the fourth quarter. But regardless, he finished with 19, and at the end of the third quarter, he had 6. But it was all pretty much meaningless points. Damian Lillard's got to be better. McCollum and Lillard have got to be better as a twosome. The backcourt matchup. This backcourt matchup is going to determine who wins. If Clay and Steph play better, which historically they obviously have, they're going to win. I don't know. I don't know where I see this. I could see the Trailblazers bouncing back and making a series out of it. I want to believe in Damian. I don't know how much I believe in McCollum. He's obviously a great scorer. I've praised him a lot on this show for just his scoring abilities in a variety of ways. But I just want to think that the experience of Steph and Clay, it's a cool moment for these guys. I think. I don't think that they would ever admit it, and I don't even think admitting it would necessarily be bad. I don't think Clay or Kevin Durant would take offense to it, but like, it's cool for these guys probably to step up in a moment like this where it's got to be, I don't know, it's got to be gratifying for them. A lot of people have doubted what, I don't know. There's a lot of talk about whose team the Warriors is, and just a lot of talk about free agency and all that. And I've mentioned before that I think they showed it, like I said, 3 or 4 years ago. I still think they're going to beat the Rockets. I don't even know if the Rockets will make it to the Warriors next year in the playoffs, because I see them probably getting beat. It'll just depend on the seeding. But if they see Portland or Denver next season before they get to the Warriors, maybe they don't even make it past the Warriors. Who knows what's going to happen in free agency with the Warriors. They've obviously got Harden and Chris Paul locked into massive contracts, far bigger than I think either of them deserve at this point in their careers. Now, Harden is obviously in the peak of his career. His money is probably dignified and justifiable. I'm very critical of James Harden, but he's a thoroughbred scorer, and he probably deserves a supermax contract. That being said, I wouldn't fucking give it to him. I could tell you that. I just wouldn't even want him on my team. But I don't know. It's interesting to see where the Rockets will go from here. And what the hell was I talking about? Oh, that's right. Their field goal percentages. My mouse is turned around. Their field goal percentages, or what they shot as a group, McCollum and Lillard. So Lillard took 12 shots. McCollum took 19 shots. Let's see if I can do some math in my head. 19 plus 12 is fucking 31. Is that right? Yeah, it's 31. So 31 shots combined, and they made 11. What is 11 divided by 31? Hey Siri, what is 11 divided by 31?
11 divided by 31 is about 0.3548.
Yeah, 35% is not good enough. It's not going to cut it, especially when Klay Thompson and Curry are shooting 41 and 52%. And a lot of them threes. Curry was 9 of 15 from 3, 60%. Klay took 9, but only made 3, was 33%. He did a lot of his work in the mid-range. He was pretty impressive. in the mid-range. It's amazing to see him like float in either direction, but still not look like he's shooting a fadeaway. Another thing that I wanted to look at from this game was also the plus minus of Cook and that second unit for the Warriors. I remember at some point in the second quarter, I said to myself, it's going to be interesting to see. I think Curry had 3 fouls early. I want to say he had all 3 fouls in the first half. And at some point in that game, I remember saying to myself, this is going to be an interesting stretch here because he started off hot. Clay was still in there and wasn't shooting the greatest at that time, although had probably a majority of their points. But McKinney was +1, Sean Livingston was +1, Jordan Bell was +7, Quinn Cook was +2. He played pretty well in those minutes. He was 2 of 5, hit 2 of 3 threes. And then Jerebko was +12 as well and finished with 9 points. There's been a lot of talk about deepest benches throughout this season and kind of what made the Warriors, those classic Warriors 3 or 4 years ago, was their deep bench. And it kind of goes unnoticed. They really don't need them that much, but when they do need them, Cook came in and played well. Jordan Bell came in and gave them good minutes. He had 3 assists and 4 rebounds. And Damian Jones played. I didn't even notice that. Probably because I turned the game off at that point. But Damian Jones was starting at the beginning of the year, and now he's playing 1 minute. I know that he was hurt, and he's coming back from an injury. It'd be interesting. I really liked watching Damian Jones at the beginning of this year. It'd be really interesting to see. Well, we're never going to see that, but what the Warriors would be like if Damian Jones was still in their lineup, because he was damn good at the beginning of this season. He's exactly what that starting lineup needs out of a I don't know. I guess Bogut is a great passer and he's doing pretty well. Although he only played 8 minutes. Oh, all right, I was wrong. Kevon Looney played 24 minutes. It was a couple nights ago. Okay. The I Can Do Anything podcast is brought to you by Ludus. Selling tickets should be easy so you can focus on what truly matters, your production. The I Can Do Anything podcast is powered by Ludus. Built from the ground up for a high school theater director, Ludus is simple and free online ticket sales for K through 12 schools. With a customized ticketing portfolio, Ludus offers great customization features. Choose your own unique domain, pick custom colors to match your organization, and even build a meaningful splash page with the drag and drop editor. Take control of your ticket sales with the advanced control panel tools, add shows and showtimes, search for tickets, find patron data in seconds, create multiple admin users, and issue exchanges and refunds at the click of a button. One of the best features Ludus has to offer is the ability to generate detailed reports, view revenue data broken down day by day, manipulate your data to answer questions about your sales, and export your data for future use. Ludus also offers powerful reserved seating. Easily let your patrons choose their own seats for your reserved seating shows. Upload your seating chart to our drag and drop maker. Add sections, rows, tables, choose premium seating, and general admission shows are possible too. Keep track of student sales by simply adding student ledgers. Each student receives a Ludus account and special sales code that can be applied to any order. When patrons purchase their tickets, they have the ability to print their tickets at home, have them digitally sent to their email for use on mobile devices, or mark them to be picked up at will call. With Ludus, customer service is a breeze. I do that to that fucking sentence every time. The way that it's written tricks me every time. Oftentimes, it's nice to talk to a real person who understands what your job consists of. Ludus offers real-time support through their chat widget, step-by-step guides, videos, an 888 phone number. Ludus has sold over... What is it? What does that say? There's a fucking blank spot and I didn't fill it in. Ludus has sold over, I want to say it's over 350,000 tickets this year, but that was a long time ago. They're probably up over the 450,000 tickets sold this year so far, because that company is doing some things over there at Ludus. Visit Ludus.com and start selling tickets today with Ludus's forever 100% free guarantee to your program. That's LUDUS.com. Okay, and then the game in the East from last night, the Bucks and the Toronto Raptors, was a really devastating loss for the Raptors, who led a majority of the game, but the Bucks came back because of Brook Lopez, the greatest fucking catch and shoot 7-foot big man that the game has ever seen. That's probably Dirk, but I wouldn't call Dirk a catch and shoot big man. I would call Dirk a scoring big man, like Kevin Durant. Like I don't know if people don't really think of Dirk and Durant as big men, but they're 7 feet tall. But maybe that's why they're the best 7-foot shooting big men. But it's like Brook Lopez is strictly a catch and shoot 7-footer. Now, he was driving the ball a little bit last night, and he missed most of them, but he did make a couple drives towards the end of the game. He finished with 29 points on 57% shooting, but was 4 of 11 from 3. It's amazing that he was taking 11 threes. Brook Lopez is a fucking catch and shoot, 3-point shooting, legit 7-footer with a tiny head for his body. Eric Bledsoe played like shit in the first half, did come out and play a lot better in the second half, finished with 9 on 25% shooting, was 0 of 6 from 3. He just had a pretty poor all-around game, but it was cool to see him put it together late. Those 9 points were probably all in the second half. I think they were all in the second half, and a good majority of them, probably 7 or 6 of them, were in the fourth quarter late. Giannis wasn't crazy last night. He didn't play like Brook Lopez was the best player on the floor last night. Antetokounmpo finished with 7 of 16, 43% shooting, was 1 of 3 from 3. He needs to take more threes though. There was a possession where late in the shot clock, I don't know if he needs to, but I think it would help at least keep them honest, because if he's got to take 3 to 5 threes a game. He could probably take more. I don't necessarily, you know what? That's just keep doing what you're doing, Giannis. You're the MVP. Don't fucking listen to me. But there was a shot late in the shot clock where he got the ball in the corner, and the guy didn't even, like, normally at the end of a shot clock when somebody catches it, like, you're going to run out there and contest the shot heavily because you know that he's got to shoot it because the shot clock's coming down. And he didn't even run out there hard. So he's just like, yeah, I mean, go ahead. And, you know, I guess that kind of goes with the general overall principle for guarding him at any point in the game, not just at the end of the shot clock. But they did a really good job, the Raptors did, at forming a wall around him when he drove. They broke it down at halftime that the Raptors just basically went into a 3-2 zone. Although in the NBA, just with how short shot clocks are, and like a lot of offensive possessions come off some type of transition, like there's more in the playoffs, there's more half-court sets in the playoffs, but a lot of it is off of, you know, transition and just the free flow, like of a natural, I don't know, just the natural game speed. But yeah, the Raptors did a great job all game long, and then just let it up at the end. I think it was something like Kyle Lowry, Kawhi Leonard, and Siakam were the only players to score in the second half. Only 3 Raptor players scored in the second half. And I wrote 3 players score in the second half up to, and I was planning on writing whatever the time stamp was, because it was like a long time. And I was like, no one other than those 3 have scored. I don't think they scored at all in the second half, other than those 3. And those 3, I mean, Lowry played great. This is the best playoff game of his career. And they lose. I don't know. You got 30 out of him. He shoots 66% from the field, 7 of 9 from 3. if Kyle Lowry did a half of that, if he had 15 and shot 40% and he only had 2 assists but did have 8 rebounds. He's a great rebounding guard, but the whole starting lineup rebounded the ball well for the Raptors. Kawhi had 9, Siakam had 6, Gasol had 6, Danny Green had 6, and then Lowry had 8. Ibaka only had 4, but yeah, I don't know if that loss was obviously not on the scale of the loss in Game 1 of the Finals for the Cavs last year. It wasn't nearly, but it reminds me of it. I just don't know how the Raptors come back. Now, they could, like we saw in the last round, a team won Game 1 and everybody's like, wow, I don't know how they come back from that. Or, the other team looks too good. I don't know, like this is over. And then it completely changes. The Raptors could come out in Game 2, which I believe will be tomorrow night. But I think it's probably going to, which is tomorrow night, Friday night. I don't know. They could come out and win a game at home or a game on the road and split on the road, and then the dynamic of the series completely changes. And I don't know. Kawhi is Kawhi, so I don't anticipate the Raptors rolling over. But I could see mentally Kyle Lowry having such a great game and then losing by just giving it away at the end, just playing I don't know. He didn't give it away. He played great, but the rest of the team gave it away. I could see Kyle Lowry not being able to come back from that mentally. We've seen him have it sounds funny to say mental issues, but that's what they are. He's just been in his own head. LeBron James was in his head for a really long time. But I don't know. These series are gonna. They're by no means over. I think both teams that lost still. I never really gave predictions for these series. I really don't know. These are two very interesting matchups that I don't really know what to make of. You could see it going either way. The battle of star power is really impressive. I was not expecting to be. Obviously I was expecting to be interested in the NBA playoffs, but I wasn't expecting that I'd be this vested into it, given my, towards the end of the season when LeBron went out, I was like, when the Lakers were no longer contending, I was doing a lot of other stuff, like watching and listening to a lot of other stuff and really not paying tons of attention, or I was paying attention, but I wasn't watching a shit ton of games like I started the season. And these playoffs have been great. The matchup of Kawhi Leonard and Antetokounmpo is awesome, and then the matchup of Lillard and McCollum and Thompson and Curry is really great. So these are, I think, regardless of which teams make the finals, it'll be exciting. It'll be fun to watch Kawhi go against Durant. If the Warriors make it, it'd be fun to watch Kawhi guarding McCollum or probably destroying McCollum on the other end. McCollum's not a horrible defender, but he's certainly not it's not really talked about his defense. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't know that I've ever really truly paid attention to how McCollum plays defense. Okay, so yeah. I won't be able to, I'm definitely not going to be awake for the Blazers and the Warriors, so I'll be watching that one tomorrow. And then I'm going to have good old Addison Dobb come over on Sunday. So the next episode will more than likely be on Monday. Thank you for listening to the I Can Do Anything podcast, brought to you by Bragg's. Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar. The fuck does that say? I like to endorse products that I use every day and find beneficial to my overall well-being. And Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar is just that. Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar is USDA organic and is naturally gluten-free and made from the finest, delicious. This is written so horribly. is naturally gluten-free and made from the finest, most delicious, healthy, organically grown apples. Raw apple cider vinegar is full of zesty, natural goodness and contains the amazing mother of vinegar, which occurs naturally as connected strand-like enzymes. This is horrible. So many words. Connected strand-like chains of protein enzymes molecules and is highly regarded throughout history. It also adds healthy, delicious flavors to salads, veggies, and most foods. Visit bragg.com. That's bragg.com or braggacv.com. Original health stores established in 1912. All right. Adios.